Okay, so we are live. We are live. We are live. Come on in the room. We are live. Um, it's a hot topic. Can be a heavy topic. And this is Michelle Bird, Heads Up Mental Clarity with Stephanie McCain. And we are going live talking about um, our, our Black Kings and mental health. Yes. I want to get this thing started here. You got it? Thank you.
Hey, Stephanie.
Hey.
Yes. Okay. All right. So, welcome to Heads Up Mental Clarity. We have 5 people that are on right now.
Yes.
There we are.
I'm like, how you see that? But I just saw it.
It popped up in the top of the screen. Come on in the room. Hey Antoine, thank you for chiming in. You are the first. You are the first.
Hey, hello, Antoine.
Ding 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 ding. You win the prize. He is the first one to maybe not necessarily hop on, but the first one to say good evening to us. How you doing? I appreciate everybody that has shared this. I've seen so many shares of this on different people sharing this to their page. I did something a little bit different this time. Who else is that? It's going great, Antoine. I did something a little different where I shared to a lot of different spaces, spaces that I had not shared the live before. So please share. If you have not already done so, go ahead and share this to your page. Invite people in. We're excited about this topic. I know I am. I'm upset about this topic. I have a lot of
I
emotions.
know. Me
I have a lot of
too.
emotions about this topic. This topic, I'm doing a research, really triggered some things. So come on in, come on into the room, share this. Also, you guys, please go to our YouTube channel, Heads Up Mental Clarity, and go ahead and subscribe and click the notification bell so that you're notified anytime we do a live. We're trying to get the word out there, so please do that. Okay. Hi, Munoz from PSM. How you doing? How you doing? Thank you so much. I hope you were able to share, because I know you were telling me to make shareable, Miss Munoz. So I hope you were able to share something about being in the Heads Up Mental Clarity group. I could not make it public, but I did go ahead and do that on my page, my personal page. So
What are you talking about? What do you mean?
So one of my Facebook friends, hi Christine,
Hey, Chris.
wanted me to. So when I shared it in the Heads Up Mental Clarity group,
Uh-huh.
it's private. The group is private, so there was no way for me to make it public and share it. Either that or I didn't want to.
Oh,
But I went ahead and put it on my personal page so that people can go over to that page and
okay.
share it from there, because I
Okay.
couldn't make it public in the mental clarity group. Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you so much. Hey, Max, my
Hey,
brother-in-law.
Mac.
Appreciate it. Yes, please share. I tagged a lot of brothers in this. Hopefully they'll get on. And then I realized that it was easier for me to share in different locations than it was for me to individually
I
tag.
know.
I tried though. I did try. I tried
I
to.
wonder if I could have put mine in Messenger.
Mm,
I
yeah.
don't know. It
Well,
used
one
to
thing
just be
for
like
sure.
share and it would share us going live. But for whatever reason, I don't get that anymore. But there's my
Oh,
messenger button.
yeah. I don't know. Um, so if you guys see me looking off, I'm also looking to take comments and things like that from let me see if I can get them from here. Yep, taking comments from people also on another device. So we're going to be talking about mental health and our Black men. We're going to be sharing some things. Hopefully, we will be able to share some strategies and things that Black men can do. But we want to shed some light. She said, "I received an alert. Good, 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 good. I'm glad you did." But we want to shed some light on this topic and hopefully be a help in an area that is just largely just ignored, or no resources, or
Or
yeah,
I don't know.
yeah,
We got to figure this out.
yeah. High disparity. Well, that's what we do.
I say a research project for me.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have time for it, but
Mm-hmm.
definitely would
Corey.
be a great research project.
Yes, yes. So please, like, share, comment. I don't know. I feel like, I guess I'll see how I feel at the end of this. But right now, I feel like this could even be a part two where we bring some guys on to talk about it. I don't know.
Goodness, I'm
Um,
so for the screen. I'm
but
sorry.
right now, I don't know if you guys can tell. I feel a whole lot of ways about this topic because in the research, unfortunately, to my dismay, it was difficult finding things about this topic, Black men and mental health. What I did find in my research is a lot on suicide. So, anywho, without further ado, I am Michelle Bird, Heads Up Mental Clarity. I am your mental health therapist, and this is my bestest girlfriend, Stephanie McKay, marriage and family therapist. And we are going to share this and dissect this and unpack this as much as we possibly can, and hopefully give you guys some information. And I hope it causes you to go and dig up and do some research on your own as well. I'm looking to out of this. When doing my research, I thought about um, interviewing more guys because I want to know more. I want to know more. I want us to become a little bit more comfortable. We talk about women and mental health all the time, although there is some type of stigma around that still, but not like it is with our brothers. Like, yeah. So, with that said, brothers, talk to me. Talk to me in the chat, in the comment section. Please talk to us in the comment section. If you have questions, if you have statements, whatever, comments, please talk to us in the comment section. And I'll let Stephanie start off with some statistics that she found um, about men and mental health.
So 20%, the African American males, 20% are more likely to have psychological distresses than white men. But 45% of white men will seek assistance, and very little Hispanic, and 45% of Hispanics and whites will seek assistance, where only 26% of African American, no, I'm sorry, let me read this again. Hispanic men at 26.4% will seek mental health services, and 45.4% of white men. But the African American men will have feelings of anxiety or depression between the ages of 18 and 44, but will not seek, are less likely to use mental health treatments. And then, of course, the suicide is the third leading. So you got gun violence. I don't know what the second one is, maybe heart attacks. And then the third leading cause of death for African American males between the ages of 15 and 24 is suicide. Third leading cause.
But there's no problem. There are no issues, and everything is fine.
African American men between the ages of 20 and 24 have the highest suicide rate among African Americans of all ages of men. And then I know that you're going to talk about the slow death process, so I won't add into that. So if you take that statistic between 20 and 24, and then add the facts that you found about the slow death thing, then that age bracket totally expands. It just gets bigger.
Yes.
And then African American teenage males are more likely to attempt suicide than white teenagers.
Hmm.
You hear that?
Yeah. Yes. Um, so Corey Allen, hey Corey, tell me if this son or pops. But the question is, why aren't Black men comfortable talking about mental health problems with other Black men? You rarely see this.
We all know why. Man, please.
Corey,
Man.
do you tell me why you think? Tell us why you think, because we want to hear from you too. Like, right? Like, we know from raising Black men, from being married to Black men, from having
What did Max say?
having so Max said Black men don't seek or speak about mental health because of the taboo in the Black family. So Corey Allen Jr., this is the son, Corey Allen. How you doing? And then we have Max Bird Sr., and that was his answer. His answer is because of the taboo in the Black family. I want to venture to say the taboo period, right? Antoine
Right.
says other Black men will shame you.
Well, shame. Yeah, I saw that. That's powerful.
Oh my gosh. Hey, nephew. Dewan Fox said pride. Where'd that pride come from, though? Can you elaborate a little bit? Where'd that pride come from? Max said the chat is too short for me. I got a long list that contributes. We want to hear it. We want to hear it. If
You
you
always got something to say, Max. This
oh
is
my
your
God.
opportunity. We're not even gonna give you no talk back.
Yes, yes. Max, Max
Share your
is my
wisdom.
brother-in-law. Please give us some more feedback.
Yeah, share your wisdom with us.
We need some of this list. Antoine said, I've confided in other men and received silence or no support. So I'm selective of what men I engage with.
Yeah.
And you know what I also think too, maybe that silence, we know that it comes from stigma, right? Sometimes. But what if sometimes that silence comes from, I don't know what to do with that?
Well, can I just be presumptuous and say yes? I think so, because then for me to tackle your stuff means I got to tackle my stuff.
Yes.
And so I'm not willing to look at my own stuff. So therefore I can't touch your stuff. And it's not consciously, it's subconsciously.
Right.
It's like that. It's like, I don't know if you've ever read a book and been like, I can't even get through this chapter because it's so triggering for me. I got to put it down. Like, I can't, I need to put this down for a minute and gather it. So sometimes, yeah, well, I would venture to say most times, yes, it's impacting something that's going on for them.
Yes. Hey, Hill Robinson says good evening.
Good evening.
Yes, absolutely. So Antoine, that's, that could possibly be the answer to that. Sometimes, like I don't know what to do with it. It's triggering for me. I've experienced that, but I don't really want to talk about it. Not because of you, not because I don't want to talk about it with you, but for me, I don't want to talk about it for me. I'm loving y'all. They coming in. I got to scroll back so I don't miss anybody.
So right here, Dwan, is that Dwan?
Uh-huh.
He says they don't like to share our feelings as men, and when we do, other men look down on you. And when you try to talk to some women, they feel like you're soft, so we keep it inside. Oh, wow.
When I tell you all, you guys don't even know what you're doing for my soul right now.
That's good.
When I tell you how triggering this was for me, and how it invoked some anger when I was researching this, because I hate that this is the case. Antoine said, I've confided in me. Oh, I read that one already.
Yeah, he said sharing transparency, and transparency is seen as a weakness.
Yeah. Max said Black men are expected to be Superman, and we will never measure up. Therefore, failure is apparent. Yes, it's in mine too, Steph. Well, actually,
my thing said, I got this from a website that says strength still needs support. to what Max is saying, so what? You still need support. Even Superman needed support. We
Right.
don't watch these, whatever comic strips, Marvels. Every now and again, everybody needs some help.
Even in our description, I said, oftentimes we look for Black men to exude strength, protect, and take care of the family and maintain good physical and mental health. However, trauma plays a part in how they function. And so, so we even put that in our description that you are expected to be Superman. And you don't hear this a lot, right? What do you hear? Women, we're super women, and we can
Right.
work, and we can do, take care of the kids, and and we feel the pressures of it, but we don't get a chance to, or think about, or talk about men having to be Superman.
Right. And so I'm going to go here. So button your
Yes.
seatbelts up. But it's crazy because there's this paradox, which is the crazy making, which is, a form of PTSD. And it's a form of takeover. We give these double messages. So, Black men repeatedly have been put either on the whooping board.
Yes.
And made to feel worthless and powerless, so I'm the master and he's not. And so now I have to carry on and minimize the power that my Black man has if we're going to stay safe on the plantation. And then when we were quote unquote free and we started building our own communities and having our own stores and our own schools and couples and families stay together, then when people had to go away to war, now, if you want public assistance, you have to now get rid of your husband and maintain your journey by yourself. Once again, demasculating the Black man.
Yes.
And then then he goes and has to do whatever he has to do to survive. And so the Superman, it's like, yeah, I want a Superman, but yet we have not been trained to exalt them in that place.
Right.
And I'll speak for myself. When you do take the position of exalting, in the past, you're under the mindset that if I exalt him, that means I'm here. And that's not the truth. Like, we're climbing this journey together, but that's not something that's been taught along this journey.
It's not. And it's by design.
And quite the contrary. It's definitely by design.
It's by design. Max said during slavery, Black men were degraded, separated, and disgraced in the midst of their families. This is where it all started. And you're
exactly
absolutely right. Speaking to what Stephanie was saying, you're absolutely right. Now, so take all of that. And I know that, we own here, we're not slaves back then, but please understand that we are. So take all of what Max just said. We were degraded and separated and disgraced. And then
anytime a slave master felt inferior to a Black man, he would have a reason to discipline him, minimize him, so that the people in his tribe understand that he is not all that he thinks he is. And it is perpetuated right now today, over and over and over again. Don't get too big for your britches. And we have the audacity
to say
that.
Yes. And then we say, what you crying for? Stop crying.
Man
Get up
up
and brush yourself off. Man up. We say that. We say real men don't cry. Showing emotions make you weak. Oh, you being gay. These are just some of the few of the things that I've heard personally. I'm sure we've all heard, and we expect that our Black men are going to be whole. And they do their best to be whole, but how do you be something you don't even know what that looks like?
You can't be whole when you're not whole. Like, no, you can pretend. You can pretend, you can act that out, and then you have people that capitulate, and there's the because the pain sometimes is so great. You have people escaping, the escapism from drugs, alcohol, infidelities, sexual addictions, all of those um, tools are used to self-medicate. It's
Right.
all about self-medication. It's all,
It
I
is.
want to feel something.
Yes.
I want to
Yes.
feel something other than pain. And so I will lie, I will fabricate, I will become an
Yes.
amazing actor, I'll become an amazing dancer. I just want to feel some aliveness. I'll play
Mhm.
football, I'll run a ball because I need to hear the cheers.
Yes. Yes.
I need to be celebrated.
Mhm.
Girls are like, you're so cute. You look so nice, no matter what. But a boy got to be sharp.
Right. So there's this double standard,
He got to be sharp before you
which
be
is
like,
just such a just is such mixed messages. It's so confusing. Um, you know, men are silenced in so many ways. Men are silenced. They're at home, in the workplace, and you know, out in the street. And so we have the racism, yes. And then you have all these different things that are against men. You have crime. And
mm-hmm,
notice I said crime, right? Yeah,
mm-hmm,
just crime.
mm-hmm,
You get my drift. Then you have the crime against black men from police.
mm-hmm.
You have all of these messages all of these messages that are sent out saying, you are not, who do you think you are?
Yeah.
Who do you think you are? And then
Mm-hmm.
we expect them to be
Be
everything.
somebody.
Yes. But when I tell you, it comes from from a little boy.
Oh
From a
yeah.
little boy. And now the messaging has been the same the whole time, right? When it comes from inside of the families, it is really a protection mechanism. It's like, I've heard, no, it can't be, you can't cry. He needs to man up, because when you get out there in the street, nobody's going to, he's going to have to, it's like survive. You got to survive out there.
Mm-hmm.
It's kill or be killed. You got it. So if you get out there and you look weak, people will take advantage of you. And unfortunately, these things are true. How do we
They are.
change this trajectory? Like, we have to change this. We have to change this. And I know one way is getting the word out. Black men getting the word out. What I believe is that when you learn better, we should do better. When you learn different, we should do different. When you have more information and knowledge, share that information and knowledge. That's how we're going to be able to tear it down. There are ways for our black men to start to heal.
Mm-hmm. So
But
like
I,
when I'm working with men of
Mhm.
color, unfortunately, sorry, I'm gonna tell y'all how this scenario go for me. Maybe other people on this journey that have different experience, but the woman is dragging them into services
Yep.
because they want to fix a relationship.
Yep.
And so he's sitting there and he's in the posture to defend all of her accusations and the things that's bothering her. And he's there to minimize her empowerment because I'm a woman too, and I'm black in the room. So now he's positioning himself to be attacked by us.
Yes.
And so one of the things that I do, because I love processes. I don't even care about why y'all came here. I need to know about what's your story. And so I'll pull out my feelings chart every single time you walk in my door.
Yes.
I
Yes.
need 3. And then I need you to tell me why you think those 3 are the ones. And the hardest thing for a African American, I think I said this on one of the other episodes, the hardest thing for African American man to do is talk about what they feel. They are very clear about what they think.
Right.
But if I ask you to drop down into your heart space and say, tell me what you feel,
Mm-hmm.
and most of the time, unfortunately, right now, everything is anger, frustration. It's always in the
Yeah.
anger quadrant.
Yeah.
Um, very, very rarely do I get someone, which, because of the circumstance, they come to see a therapist. Um, and it's so different. So check this out. So when an African American man comes to therapy and comes to services, he's, dissatisfied, angry, or whatever. And then when a white man comes to therapy, he needs clarity and understanding and just wants to make sure that he is moving in the direction that he wants to be in. It's just like so different.
Yeah.
They, for whatever reason, they have been okay to come into our space and talk about feelings. Now, what they do at the boardroom and all of that stuff, don't know.
Right.
But
Well,
when they
first
come,
off, they don't have the trauma that we have, hundreds of years of trauma that we have that has been carried down from generation to generation, family to family. Antoine said years of bad programming passed on. So we've
that's it.
had those years of bad programming.
Generations.
Yeah, passed on generation to generation, and they haven't had that. So if he falls down, he doesn't have to necessarily man up today. Oh, Johnny, okay, it's okay. It's okay. It's never okay for our men. And so there's a lot of differences. Antoine says more safe spaces need to be created. I attempted to create a safe space for men called Roundtable University. It's a process because you have to work through so many barriers and build trust. Yeah.
It's so true.
Yes. Yes.
It's so true. And another thing, I think that our men are not taught from whoever leadership is, that there is a position of mentee. We do it naturally as women. I don't know what that's about, but there's a position at mentee that does not take away your leadership or does not take away how amazing you are, but to say, you know what, I'm just going to sit under you and hold that position and learn and be vulnerable.
Yes.
That's the village aspect of it. And sometimes I think that when men get into a place, I had raised 4 boys, so this is what I'm talking from the dining room table. When they get into a place, everybody's got to show up as the one who knows it. Like, you the smartest son of a biscuit eater in the room, and everybody's in competition about, who's the smartest one in the room, instead of just being the mentee, taking the role. Like, I'm going to step down. Don't take nothing away from me. I still am a licensed therapist, but I'm going to be a mentee under you.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I don't know what needs to happen in that space for men to say, you know what, I'm just going to take this role. I know that your husband and his brother, had the beautiful privilege of being under Brother Woods. But most people don't take that position to just sit underneath without thinking they got to lose their power. And I don't know whether it's because the people that are the mentors don't encourage it, but it's just something that I recognize. And I recognize from my sons that there's this natural thing at the table where I got to be the smartest one at the table.
Yeah. Monique, hey, honey. Monique, my daughter's there. She said Black communities educating themselves on how to uplift our men without feeling inferior is a great start. Other communities are intimidated by our greatness. So we have to build ourselves up enough to be able to stand in our greatness without care or fear of others' opinions and ignorance and projection. Yes. Yes, absolutely. I agree with that. And I agree with Antoine and creating those safe spaces. Yes. So that men can, and it's okay. It's okay. And here's the other thing that's okay. We got to heal because boys are still coming along. Boys are still being born. And so if we want to break this cycle, it has to start with everybody that is on here, everybody that sees this, this live, sharing it and being intentional, aware and intentional about that awareness.
And I got goosebumps when you said intentional, because what the challenges that we face, how we got here, that shit was intentional.
Yes. So we got to be intentional about disbanding this mess.
Exactly. That was intentional. This outcome is intentional. This outcome is some type of some physicist and analyst sat together somewhere, just like whatever else is going on in our world today, and said, we'll do this, 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 and this. We only got rid of slavery because there was a plan B.
Yes.
And this is the outcome of it. Like, it's intentional. And so we have to be intentional about getting better, and also understanding that for the people who can get in the house, you might want to listen to the ones who can get in the house just for a little while. Let the people who have the upper hand say what they need to say and help you and give you some insight so that you can be empowered too.
Right. Yeah.
You know, a therapist, I don't care. A therapist, a minister, I don't care. But we do need to take the time to say, hey, I need direction.
Yes.
I need some direction. It's okay.
I was going to say, and it is okay to do that. It is okay to do that. Some of the things that I, you know, in my research, a couple of things like Stephanie was talking about the suicide, and then this one article that I was reading described this as slow suicide, drug and alcohol addiction, gang involvement,
that was
risky behavior, sexual behavior. We don't look at it as that, but that's exactly what it is. It's a slow suicide.
It
right.
is.
The
because
intention
it's deteriorating.
Right. The intention is to heal the wound, but actually doing the opposite.
It's doing the opposite because the reality is that in my belief system, I believe that I come onto this planet. And I know I'm gonna step on some toes. I don't believe that I'm a sinner. I believe I come onto this planet intrinsically whole, intrinsically right, intrinsically well, intrinsically good, because I am made in the image and likeness of God. Period. Pooh. For me. So if I'm taking my belief, and that's what I project to my clients, that you came here intrinsically amazing.
I say you come here as blank as this paper.
Exactly.
And people start writing on you.
Exactly. And so when people, not just men, but we're talking about men, when men are engaging in behaviors that self-soothe, what comes with that? Guilt.
Yes.
Shame.
Yes.
Hiding. All of that, and all of that does something to the mind.
Yeah.
Because I know that there's greatness inside of me, and yet I'm doing all these somersaults to counterproduce.
And it's conflicting, right?
It's very conflicting.
Yes, it's conflicting. Yes.
When and instead of just I know that I'm the bomb. There is something inside of me, and my higher self knows that I am all that.
Yes.
And yet there's another truth that I'm having to band-aid, self-medicate in order to be okay on this planet.
Right. Antoine said it's something as simple as texting every morning, how are you doing, and being consistent about it, engaging each other and not being easily thrown off when people deflect and on purpose.
Yeah. There's a book called by Don Miguel Ruiz. It's The 4 Agreements. And if you can master that, you know, being impeccable with your words, not taking anything personal, don't make assumptions, and then do your absolute best. So if you practice all of those, when you send a good morning text and a brother don't respond back, it just is what it is.
Right.
And don't stop because it didn't happen, that they didn't reciprocate it.
Right. Absolutely. Max says you can't listen to directions while you're talking at the same time. Y'all know what I really want to say.
What? No.
Don't get us kicked off Facebook. Don't make them take our video down. And so how can we start to change this? First off, recognize, just like you recognize you need to go. Like, I need to go to the gym for my health.
Yes.
I need, I'm not feeling okay, or my body is not what I want it to be, whatever the case may be. So I'm going to go and enroll in a gym or whatever. Do the same thing for your mental health, men.
Yes.
Do the same thing for your mental health. And
just
so
if
it's a therapist, if it's a mentor, minister, but let me just say this though. Don't check in with people that are not where you're trying to be.
Right.
Those are not the people you want to check in. If you want to feel better, you want to do better mentally, you want to check in with people that are striving to do the same thing, or that have already been on that journey to do that same thing.
And who will challenge your truth.
Yes.
Yeah. Challenge your truth. And get familiar with the symptoms, or the criteria is what we call it, how do I know the signs of anxiety? How do I know
Mhm.
the signs of depression? How do I
Mhm.
um how do I accept the fact that that what happened to me in my childhood, whether it's
Mhm.
beatings, sexual abuse, someone neglecting you or abandoning you.
Mhm.
How do I know that this has not had an impact on me? I would venture to say, always assume that it has.
Yes. Yes. How do you know that you need to go and get assistance? Aside the fact that you are Black, right? Some of the things, extremely high and low moods, um, headaches. Like let's check ourselves out. Men go to the doctor less than women do.
Mm-hmm.
When you do go, if you don't get the answers that you want, you don't feel comfortable, you don't feel congruent in that experience, find somebody else.
Excessive amounts of isolation.
Hmm. Yes, irritability,
Mm-hmm.
right? Thoughts of suicide,
Mm-hmm.
whether they're
Mm-hmm.
passive or not. Whether it's they'd be better off without me, or I definitely want
Yes.
to go do something. Whether it's
Mm-hmm.
passive or not, changes in your sleep habits, the extreme sadness. Um, let's not make a mistake about being angry that need to be checked out. Always angry,
You want to elaborate on that?
anger, not being able to control your anger, not being able to manage the anger, whatever, that needs to be checked out. Like that's not okay to always be angry.
Max said something that was really good. He said
Um,
how to change the trajectory. Start by being honest with yourself. Let's not get it twisted. I'm still great no matter what people say. Right.
Absolutely.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
believing that.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, excessive fear or worry, decreased energy or fatigue. So all these things, the same things that apply to anybody else that may be experiencing some depression or some mental health issues. Those are some of the warning signs for men. Because I think that oftentimes when we talk about warning signs and symptoms and all of that, it just automatically get put over onto women,
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily. Now, let's make no mistake about it. When we talk about men, we're talking about boys too.
Oh, definitely. Like I prefer if the men ain't gonna come, please send your boys.
Please send your boys, because that's how we can stop this.
Yeah, the
Um,
generations stop.
how can you stop this? Now you are aware, because we're bringing awareness through this Facebook live streaming and this YouTube
Mm-hmm.
live streaming. We're bringing awareness, and now that you're aware, check yourself if you're one of the
Yeah.
people that do this to other people.
Yeah.
If
Yeah.
you're one of the ones to tell your boys to man up and stop crying, check yourself, because these are long lasting consequences in the things that you say and do.
Mm-hmm. Because we are our children's gods until they have their own connection and relationship with the
Mhm.
God of their understanding. We're it. And so what we say is it I
It's
we
scripture
see
to
this
them.
all the time. It's like
Yes.
we see grown people who are stuck in 5-year-old, 7-year-old, 6-year-old bodies.
Yes.
Their emotive
Yes.
behaviors and their emotive abilities, they're stuck back here trying to be good, obedient young men, and they
Mhm.
don't even have a clue of who are you?
Exactly.
Break the
And
rules,
and
and who
and
are
I'll
you?
say this to a child, teenager. I have more experience with when I say, like, why haven't you done this, or why didn't you do that? And it's like, well, I guess I'm just lazy. I said, okay, you've told me what they say. Now tell me what you think,
Exactly.
because that message you got from somewhere.
Mhm.
So tell me what
You
you
ain't
think.
come in here lazy.
Right. And then it's, oh, well, I don't want to raise my hand, or I don't want to feel out of place, or I don't want to get shut down. Then I get
Mhm.
the truth. But at first it's, well, I'm lazy and I just won't do it. And okay, that's what they say. I want to hear
Mhm.
what you have to say, because in here you get to tell your truth
Mhm.
and what you have to say. So we have to start teaching our young men, our young boys, little boys. We have to start teaching them, right? It's God gave you the emotions, so you're gonna have the emotions,
They're
right?
yours.
What do we help? How do we help them to deal with those emotions? What do we do? What do we say? That matters. All of that matters because again, you just grow up to be adult boys.
Yes. Yes. And then you grow up to be adult boys who are in relationships. And what's so amazing to me is that a marriage is supposed to be a place of absolute nakedness.
Yes.
Like, Adam and Eve, nakedness. A marriage is supposed to be nakedness, not just nakedness in the physical body, but nakedness in your mind, nakedness of your
Free.
heart.
Free.
A free place. I should be able to say whatever the devil I want to say. And because you know me and I know you, you know where to go with that. And you also have enough of yourself to say, you want to break that down for me? Because I'm taking that some kind of way. But instead, if we don't learn to honor our emotions, we shove it down.
Yes.
We go somewhere and pout.
And it's
Or
gonna
we just
manifest.
be like, man, whatever. But on the inside, your little heart is just broken to pieces.
Yeah. Yes.
And instead of saying, hey, dude, that was painful. Don't do that. And so, but we're not taught to own what we feel.
Yes. Yes.
So we'll get angry or we'll become dismissive. The
Very
black
dismissive,
man.
especially to the black man, where we can be very dismissive to the black man. And so having said that to them, I want to say to the women, we come in contact, whether we have sons or nephews or husbands or partners or whatever, we come in contact with black men all the time.
Yes.
And so we have something that we can do in this situation as well. Uplift, encourage.
Uplift and be quiet.
How about that? And listen, 2 ears,
2 ears,
1
one
mouth.
mouth.
Yes.
Just be like, what you feeling, not what you think. And then just let it be what it is. Well, I'm pissed off right now. Well, you shouldn't be pissed. Stop that.
Right. I said I'm pissed.
Yes. All right. I honor that. I don't know what that means for you right now, but I honor. First of all, you better honor the fact that they are recognizing that
And saying it to you.
And saying it to you, and not sitting somewhere brooding or stewing somewhere. But encourage the black man to have a feeling other than anger, happy, satisfied, content, expecting,
yes,
abundance, feeling a sense of limitlessness.
Yes.
Like help them with words,
Mm-hmm.
encourage the words, and then let it be. Don't drill it down. What do you mean by that?
Because
Just
if
let
you
it
are
be.
a mother with a son in your home, if you are a wife,
say it loud,
so them in the balcony can hear. If you are a mother with a son at home, if you are a wife with a husband at home, if you are a partner with a partner at home or in your life, they need some peace from you too. Starting with you. If the space there is not safe,
it makes the world safe.
Yes. And that brings me to an example. I remember, hey mom, my mom's on here. I remember being being younger. And I remember I can say this out loud because I'm grown. And I remember my mom would fix my dad's plate, right? And then it was an expectation of us, right? You go to school, you come home, you wash dishes, you can put the food away, but just fix his plate, put it on the stove. And I resented it. I was like, what in the world? What? Fix it yourself. So in my 40s, though, it was never explained to me, but in my 40s, I heard a group of older, like older women speaking. And the woman said, we started fixing our men's plates way, way, way back in the day because they would be so beat down in the world that when they came home, we just wanted them to just feel relaxed and calm. Here's your plate. Because, of course, back then, the women were at home more often.
Right.
And it wasn't until then that clicked, like, oh, because this is a safe space. This wasn't about anybody getting over on anybody. It wasn't about that at all. And my
Yeah.
point
And
is
I
whether you
was
make a
thinking
plate
that
or
too,
not.
Michelle.
Hmm.
Go ahead. Go ahead. Go
My
ahead.
point is whether you make a plate or not, make the space safe.
Yes. I was thinking, like, the anxiety, first of all, our DNA, because of slavery, has been totally altered. So we do have certain DNA molecules that have a propensity for anxiety, or the
Yes.
propensity to have PTSD symptoms, even if all we did was hear was a car door slam as a
Right.
baby. We are predisposed to have PTSD as people of color because of what our ancestors have endured.
Right.
So, that being said, our African American men who do go out to work or go anywhere, heck, walk to the store, if
Hmm.
you can remember that there is a part of their bodies, the DNA, the liver and the kidneys and the spleen, that are doing a vibrational shake
Yes.
when they walk to the store, when they go to their jobs, when they're trying to perform on their jobs, when they come back, they are in a perpetual state of alert,
Anxiety. Hmm. Hmm.
high alert,
Operating from the limbic system.
always, but
Hmm.
required to operate from the prefrontal cortex.
Right.
So you talking about some gymnastics that go on.
In the
So
body,
yeah,
in the
if all I
brain.
got to do is make a plate and run a bath, okay,
Right.
because you want to bring that down, just like you would do a baby. It's like, I
Yes.
need to bring it in. Like, okay, 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 I get it. But if you understand that that's what's going on, it's the unseen things that are going
Yes.
on. It's the energy. So if you learn
Right.
how to meditate, men,
Hmm.
you can start slowing that vibration down. But it is in us as people of color, and specifically our men, because of the enormous fear that was in them to produce, to
Yes.
to not show too much love and affection to their wives and their kids, because the threat of it being taken away. So there was a lot of things that were going on. What about the men? I talk about my grandfather, who could not read or write, held a job at Ford for almost 40 years, but could not read nor write. Do you know the level of anxiety that would be on him if he had to worry about, if somebody come to me with a piece of paper, now I got to pretend like I know what I'm looking at?
Mm.
So
Yes.
home is the only place that I can be my 100.
Absolutely.
I need to be able to be my 100 there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yes. Um, so what we like to happen is like stop equating being devoid of emotions with
Mm-hmm.
manhood. Just, I mean, it doesn't make you a man because you're devoid of emotions. And I know that's quite the opposite of what's been taught for years. Actually, you're more attractive when you can show, at least to your partner, when you can show that you have those emotions and you understand that, and you're
Mm-hmm.
trying to work through and unpack some of the stuff that you've packed down for years,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because if you deal with your emotions, I know you can deal with mine.
Right. It's safe. Mm-hmm.
It's safe. It's safe.
Mm-hmm.
Self-care or focusing on emotions, emotional health is not emasculating. It's not. It's quite the opposite. So self-care. Stephanie mentioned doing meditation, getting your mind right. Meditation for some may look like prayer, may look like Bible study, just spending a quiet time to get your mind right.
Mm-hmm.
But first and foremost, and I want to say, talk to somebody. So whether it's a therapist, whether it's a mentor, whether it's a minister, whatever, whether it's a brother, your own brother, your friend, or whatever, who can relate, talk to someone. We got to stop this perpetuation of what has been taught that manhood is.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's falseness of what it is.
And I'm going to venture to say, because I know what happens for me and for our clients when they learn to sit with themselves and become more familiar and aware of their emotional bodies, is that creativity comes. And
Hmm.
we as people of color are the most creative, ingenuitive. Is that a word? I'm making it up. This is our show. Um, um, we are, in my imagination, people of color, we got it going on, but we are so suppressed. And
Yeah.
we are in such a fearful place in our brains that we are, and I believe it's intentional.
Mm-hmm.
But if you sit and get with yourself, tell yourself the truth, understand that you are intrinsically right from the day you walk on this earth. The acorn is a mighty oak, period.
Yes.
So when the sperm meets the egg and they say, let's do this, it is it is perfect, period.
Mm-hmm.
Until
Yes.
somebody else comes and misinforms us. But all the
Right.
creativity, all your dreams, all your desires, if you think you can play the piano, it's because you probably can.
Right.
And I believe that about who we are. Like we embody energy and color and
Mm-hmm.
brightness and bigness, and that's who we are.
Yes.
And we need it from our men because it comes with so much power. It's like E.F. Hutton. If our
Mm-hmm.
men just say it, it's a done deal. There's so much power in that. And so the shutdown is intentional.
Right.
It's intentional because there's so much in us, and this planet needs so much. We haven't even touched the surface
Right.
of
Yeah.
what it is that we are can do as a people of color. But our black men, hmm, I just imagine. I know what it's like when I let myself be free and write and draw on my own without worried about what people think of me.
Right. Yes.
And I watch my sons as they do their creative art when they are free to flow. It just be some.
Mm-hmm.
I'll be like, that came from my seed. Like I just be in awe. It's,
Yes.
because it's there. It's there from the beginning. Nobody has to pump it up or massage it. It's there, but we got to get ourselves free to know who
Of
we
right.
are.
Of
Mm-hmm,
suppressing it,
mm-hmm,
and
mm-hmm,
us as women
mm-hmm,
contributing to suppressing it for them.
mm-hmm. Yes.
Um, and now let me just say this disclaimer: we're not saying it's going to be easy. Not at
It's
all.
not even a little bit easy.
We're not saying it's going to be easy at all. Not at all. It took years of you being this way, of feeling this way, of generations and generations and years for individual people that might be on this call. So we're not saying um, that
Get up
it's going to
tomorrow and
be,
change your mind. Yeah, no.
no. What we are saying is that you can do it.
Yeah,
It can be done.
yeah. Mm-hmm.
It can be done. So it's a process and it'll take some time, but it can be done. And today we just wanted to share
Yes.
and make you aware, right? To invoke your awareness. We wanted to
And
make
to
sure.
let you know that we believe, we sending out energy all the time. Like,
Yes, we
hit
do.
the switch, Holy Spirit, hit the switch, hit the switch, hit the switch, hit the switch, hit the switch. Because
Mhm.
somebody is available every
Yes,
day to do something
yes.
different.
I would say, when I was doing my research, I was looking up, of course, black male therapists popped up. So do your research and find therapists that, if you want to see a therapist, so do your research and find therapists that may be available in your area. Um, again, ministers, mentors, or what have you. One thing I want to make sure, because suicide is the third leading cause of death, as Stephanie has said, and among our Black men. And so if you feel any kind of way that can cost you your life,
Mm-hmm.
right? The National Suicide Prevention Hotline is 1-800-273-8255. That is 1-800-273-8255. Um, because we need you.
Yes.
We
Mm-hmm.
need you here.
Mm-hmm.
We do. We do. I'm often reminded by a story that a man had told about wanting to commit suicide. And I've heard many, 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 many stories. and the wife saying, "But I need you," is what stopped that process from happening, because we need you. Antoine says, definitely not easy. It's like a sculpture that you have to keep chipping away at.
It
Yes.
is. Because so I drew this picture this morning. I cannot find it. Well, I drew this picture of roots, and in the center of the roots is me, pure love, pure whole me. And then on the sides of it is love and possibility and abundance and life. And then on the outside, still at the bottom with the roots, is abandonment, guilt, shame, sexual assault,
All around you.
all the
Living
things
in.
all around you. And then I'm growing up as this tree with all this poison on the outside, and then me on the inside. And so like the goal is to focus in on the stuff that I started this journey with. The
Yes.
mighty trunk, the resilient piece. The
Yeah.
resilience is in the center. And that's the part you have to nurture, and you have to groom, and you have to nurture, and you have to groom, and you have to nurture, and you have to groom that part. And then the stuff on the outside, hopefully, the shallow dirts on that end will start breaking those roots away. If you've ever seen a tree, as it gets bigger, the roots start coming to the top, letting the solid roots, the stuff that the resilience, be the force where the food is, that the
Right.
solid roots in the middle are the ones that go down, 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 down deep. The ones on the side, they actually, oh, that's good. Come on, Holy Spirit. They spread out and affect our community.
Yes. I was going to say, affect the other trees. If affect the little young tree that's on the side.
Right. Exactly.
Yes.
Well, that's
Max
enough
says
of
it
that.
becomes easier. He said, Max says it becomes easier when we allow ourselves to be free. We have to.
Yes.
We have
And I
to.
think that we need to teach, the men need to teach men what that means to be free.
Yes.
Because I can't tell a guy what it means to be free. I can tell a woman what it means to be free, but I don't know what it means to be free on the inside as a man. Like,
Right.
especially a Black man, what does it mean to be free? I have some examples or speculations, people that I suspect are free,
But you still
but
don't even
I
know.
still don't know. I
Right.
don't know.
We still don't even know.
So I agree,
This
Max.
has been this has really been good. We're nearing our end. Guys, I don't know. Let me know. Like, share, comment, go to our YouTube and subscribe and hit the notification bell so that you get our notifications when we are going live. Let us know. What do you want to hear more about this? What do we want to do with this? What we do, we've told you what we want you to walk away with, but do we want to do more with this? Like I said, the research in this was triggering for me. It triggered anger because when you look up Black men, Black people come up.
Yep.
Like, that ticked me off. I'm like,
Yes.
what?
Yeah,
I'm
I
looking
did
for
it like
Black
3
men.
times. I know, I did it 3 times.
The
And I feel
impact
like
of mental health on Black
on
men.
Black people, Black, the Black.
As it,
I'm like,
it
what about
further,
men?
yes, it further proves the point of how we're trying to, how seemingly, I'll say seemingly, how of getting rid of or pressing down, or like I'm like, why I can't find anything about Black men,
They're
or something will
invisible.
pop up to say suicide.
Mm-hmm.
Well, our men are hurting, and our men are not free as they should be in their emotional health. However, not all of our Black men are trying to die.
No.
In fact, quite the contrary, they're trying to live. Yeah, that just brought up some stuff for me. Like, what do you mean I can't find
That's it.
something on Black men specifically other than suicide? Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not minimizing it. My family is experienced on more than one occasion suicide in our family, so I know that's real and that's there. But we want to somehow be some type of influence to
And not
make that
let suicide be their only option. It's not the
exactly
whatever. Like, no.
right. Right. Thank you guys for tuning
Thank
in.
you.
Antoine said good discussion. Wow, is what I can say.
We're just
You
a
guys,
little passionate about it. Sorry.
you guys were phenomenal. You guys are
Yes.
phenomenal. Thank you so much. This has been the
Thank
most
you.
dialogue ever. Just like boom, 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 back to back. So we appreciate it. And stay tuned for our next topic in 2 weeks. We will be back with you. I am Michelle Bird, Heads Up Mental Clarity. You guys know where you can find me. I'm gonna start kind of dropping it on our streamer or either in the chat or whatever, so that you guys can know where to find us. But you can find me at Psychology Today. You can find me on Facebook, Michelle Wallace Bird. You can find me on Instagram, Mrs. Bird LPC. You can find me at Chicago Compass Counseling.com. Yeah. And here every other Tuesday.
Right. I'm here every other Tuesday. You can find me on Psychology Today, Stephanie Stevens McCain, or it's just Stephanie McCain. I apologize. And then Lamplight Counseling Services. And you can always email me at letstalkmft@gmail.com.
All right. And one last comment. Thank you, Antoine says, I often say that men are going to have to step up and begin to create more of these conversations and take ownership of their situations and support each other. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
And we are here to help.
Yes.
We are here to support.
Yes.
Thank you so
Absolutely.
much.
Thank you.
Until next time. Thank you, friend.
Thank you. Thank you for
All
having
right.
me. Namaste.
Good night.
Good night.